Welcome back, everybody, to Full Blast Garage. If you didn't catch the last video on this old 454, we put an overdrive transmission in this thing. She's about to be one of them highway cruisers, just running down the road, just, I don't know, 1,800, 2,000, no, it'll probably still be 2,500 RPM if I'm lucky, but hey, it's gonna make it streetable. But I appreciate y'all watching these videos. Channel's getting a lot of attention. I'm super happy about it. If you take a minute to just like, subscribe, shoot me a comment on this old thing, man. Tell me what would have been better than putting a $150 transmission out the back of a van in a grocery store parking lot. Tell me what would have been the better option, really. But today, I just got a few little odds and ends to finish up on this thing, and then we're about to put it on full blast. Now I'm just gonna ease into it, kind of let all them clutches get a little bit of fluid before I do anything to this thing. You know, I'm gonna go through just kind of the final steps, wiring up that torque converter lockout, and just, you know, putting the exhaust back on. And I got the inspection cover, which I know Barrett Jackson quality, Concourse Restoration. It's got an inspection cover. Yeah, you know, let's just go through the steps, do this, and then we're gonna put this sucker out on the road. So stick around, let's see what we can do. All right, so back under here, under the truck. Got to get the inspection cover on first. Do not put your exhaust on and then try and do this last on this truck, because it is a bear to try and wrestle it out with the Y pipe right here. But pro tech tip, when you're starting with a fresh pair of gloves on your project, grab the greasiest part that you have. It just gets them gloves broke in, you know, immediately. And definitely don't take the time to clean up anything. But this thing, it's a daily. I ain't really worried about it. Come on now. Get in there. And you persuade it a little bit in there. There we go. It's home. Only about 5 pounds of grease fell in my eyes. So these bolts are 10 millimeter, but luck has it, one of them's pretty rounded off, and I had to use the 3/8 to get it off, but I think I can smoke it home with the 10 still. At least get it tight enough to stay snug there. If you want to get all these bolts started, this thing's warped and all kinds of crap. You'll have issues trying to get your alignment right if you start smoking these things home before you got all the bolts in. Man, alignment's real bad over here. I can't even find the hole where this thing goes. Is that why everybody gets rid of at least one bolt every time they take an inspection cover off? I always kind of wondered about that. But after this, I'm gonna start working on getting the exhaust in. Definitely put your face right under all the oil soaked stuff. Help keep it off the floor if it goes right in your face. All right. This is probably the rounded off one. Well, the 10 got it home. There we go. All right, well now we got these manifolds here with no exhaust, so we got to get the Y pipe in and got to wrestle that thing in. Hopefully we still got enough space back here to get her home, but this transmission's a whole lot smaller than that Turbo 400, so we should be good. Let's start working on that. Let the games begin. Odds this thing actually goes back up in here. I could not get this piece of pipe off either of these joints, so I had to get this thing way up in the air to get it out in the first place. Well, if I can get, I might have to try and get this thing started from up here. Oh yeah. Oh, like nothing. Big difference when you don't have a gigantic transmission. Man. Well, see, I was talking too soon. Please don't make me have to take the trans mount out. All right. There's a possibility we're gonna have to remove this pipe. Don't know if I'm gonna be able to wrestle this thing in. Let's see. Maybe I just tap this thing a little bit on the front side. If I can get her wedged in there. Just put a new crease in the floorboard. Well, I think I'm gonna have to lift this thing higher to get her back in. Sketch level 1000. So I'm gonna have to pull the jack from back here and go up. So I'm gonna be able to pull it in kind of around it maybe. No, that ain't gonna work. Well, I think I'm gonna try and beat this piece of pipe off. See if I can get that off, and then this thing will go in no problem. Man, I kept fiddling with it. I think it's about to drop in. Well, lose a light. There we go. She's home. And if y'all don't know, fiddling is a very technical term. It's way more technical than messing with. When you're fiddling with something, you got some ideas, and something's about to happen. Good Lord, this thing. I'm gonna have to get it back even further. Well, I thought I was past the hard part. All right, there we go. One exhaust system in an OBS 454, done. Now I gotta tighten all these dang flanges up, all these clamps, but we're good. Let's get it blazed on in there. I ain't gotta show you all that. If you wanna see it, me take it out, watch that last video, but snug all these guys up. We got an exhaust. We're kind of done under the car other than hooking up our electrical connection to the torque converter lockout. That's just one little plug once we run a wire up from under the hood. So we're good to go. So one of the first steps in this kit is cruise control switch wiring, because it uses that brake release signal where it kills the cruise control to unlock the torque converter. Of course, this old sucker, the stalk on and off doesn't work. So what we did here is we took the constant 12 volts that this cruise control little controller box gets, and we jumped it over to the signal from the stalk. So anytime ignition on, bam, it's going to jump over here. It thinks cruise switch at least is turned on. Then I tapped in over here to my release wire. You know, put your little probe in here and ground the other side. You get 12 volts. Man, all right, that's good. You know, it should be reading 12 volts. I go inside, hit the brake, 0, or it goes down to almost 0. And that's what you want. So if you're into the backyard mechanicking, Frankenstein wiring, that's how you get around replacing that stalk in there. I have zero desire to, you know, go into that thing, especially everything else works. I didn't even know the cruise didn't work. But everything is good, working now. I got to run a wire to that cruise release, and I got to grab a wire from the switch and go down to the torque converter. We're good. We're rolling. All right, so here's the location of that vacuum switch. And I guess it's kind of nice having one of the crappiest 454s, because you can just self-tap anything to the firewall and not have to worry about it. But you just use the outside prongs on this switch. You can hook up the 2 wires however you want to. There's a vacuum line coming out of the bottom that I got snaked over here to the ported vacuum port here on the Quadrajet. I've got the TV cable hooked up. I'm not 100% sure if she's adjusted right, but you can tell pretty quick if this thing's shifting real sloppy or real hard, if you need to adjust it. If it feels about right, just leave her alone. But that's it. I mean, it's pretty simple. You know, all the wiring was actually out here when you tee into all your cruise control module like this. I'm sure I'll clean this up, you know, never. It'll probably stay exactly like this the entire time I own the vehicle. But that's what she looks like down here. So I gotta get this thing on the ground, which is kind of easier said than done, because I had to use, you know, a couple 4x4s, a piece of angle iron, and some C-channel to get it up this high. But yeah, I'll get her back down on the ground. I gotta run to Walmart, grab another gallon of ATF just to make sure she's topped off before we do any trips. I just want to show you guys what it looks like under the hood. Well, I got this thing warming up. I'm gonna go ahead and throw 1 more quart of ATF in it, just for good measure. And that put us maybe 1.5 quarts. Put us kind of right within the recommended bill for a completely empty transmission. I'm sure it's a real good practice to use 3 different types of ATF. I'm sure they're all fine. Man, the wind blowing under this hood so much, hard to get the ATF in there. All right, she's all down. think we're good. Well, nothing left to do. Shut the hood. Let's take this thing out on the road. Just made it this far. Reverse. That's a win. Alright. Seems like at least we got first gear. Man, this thing, I can already tell this thing geared much better. Door ain't closed all the way. Still not. Anybody else own an OBS Chevy? Tell me how hard you gotta slam the doors. Alright, we put some new hinges in it next week. Woo! Second gear was a little tough, but it's got that Corvette servo. So let's give it a minute. Let's get some drive time on it before we completely declare this thing dead. But there's a good chance I'm going to have to adjust that TV cable. I think it might be a little bit tight, but that Corvette servo definitely gives you a firm second gear shift. All right, it went into third. So we got at least 3 gears. So, got the same amount as we did before. Big test. Pulling out on this freeway. $150 transmission. Everybody goes 75 on this thing, so. Scratch the tire a little bit. Woo. This thing wants to launch you going in second, third. Then we got overdrive. Overdrive. Oh my God. This thing's a dream. Oh, perfect. We're going 70. I got the windows down and this thing ain't even that loud. Holy crap. If you got a turbo 400 and one of these low horsepower 454s, man, do yourself a favor, put you an overdrive in it. She's just cruising. I bet my miles per gallon goes from 10, 11 to maybe anywhere in that 13 to 15 range. I mean, it's a big deal adding that extra gear. And what's going to be the ultimate test? If I go to exit, turn around, is this thing going to lug real bad in fourth gear? That's a sign that your torque converter is not coming unlocked. Oh, I felt it unlock. You'd already be feeling a whole bunch of engine braking. It's cruising like you're driving a stick shift. Perfect. I'm gonna check the trans fluid when I get back to the house. Just make sure we're okay. There ain't no reason to smoke, a perfectly new transmission. I was about to go in front of that guy. He's still sitting at a green light. I don't know about other people's 454s, but I had an issue with the tip gauge for a long time. I think I got it solved, but man, that thing
jump all the way up to 240, scare the daylights out of me, but it wasn't hot. I was checking it with the temp gauge. Man, that second gear, that Corvette Servo gets it. Holy crap. Fourth gear. Man. Thank you, Facebook Marketplace guy, selling that transmission out the back of your van. Thank you very much. You are an honest man. All right, well, we're just gonna head back to the shop. We'll pick it up from there.
Made it back. Successful trip. So there we are, guys. That's all you gotta do in 2 quick and easy steps in those 2 videos to get you a overdrive transmission into your old OBS truck that's running, a turbo 400 or a turbo 350. It's pretty much very similar steps. This thing, I'm gonna check the trans fluid in it, just make sure it's at the right level. And we're just gonna start dailying this thing. I mean, it's not exactly, economy friendly, but it's what I got. So it's probably a little bit more roadworthy than the El Camino right now. But, I'm happy to have this truck. I don't like super, shiny, nice, new stuff that costs $80,000. I'd rather drive this beater. And if somebody crashes into me, within a month, I can find me a replacement for it. And it ain't gonna kill the pocketbook there. But man, I hope you guys enjoyed, this short video, kind of finally putting the finishing touches on this thing, getting that little last bow tied. And, this thing's done for now. I got a couple little projects here and there, but I'm driving it. So man, I hope y'all like this video. And again, take a moment to like, subscribe, comment. We're trying to grow Full Blast Garage into something that I kind of do as, a full-time job. So, that'd be great. Anything that you guys can do will help out. And again, thanks for watching this video. And until you see me again in my next video, just go out, do something that makes you happy. Like ripping this old 454 around, that'll make you happy.